Can I welcome the fact that he's described this process as lawful? Will he confirm that it was overseen by the law officers, including the Attorney General? And the fact of the matter is that the 200 or so individuals which this process was designed to address, it was an anomaly, the situation. In order to achieve and lock in the peace process following the 1998 Good Friday Agreement, 400 prisoners were released, some of whom had committed terrible atrocities. And it was angering victims at the time, and I understand that, but it was an essential part of getting to where we are now. Similarly, addressing the question of the 200, that anomaly was part of that as well. And as for the idea that this was some secret thing out of the blue, on the 11th of January, Mr. Speaker, 2006, I told the House, in withdrawing the legislative approach to addressing this anomaly, that, and I quote, the government still believed that the anomaly would have to be faced at some stage, and close quotes, in the peace process. Exactly, Mr. Speaker. Nobody should have been surprised that we had to do this. It was a necessary part of getting to the position where Northern Ireland has escaped from its hideous past of evil and terrorism to almost universal peace and stability, where old enemies are negotiating and governing together. That should be welcomed, and our role as a government in achieving that should be commended, and I hope he will do so.
Well, first of all, I'm extremely mindful that the Right Honourable Gentleman, and indeed others on both sides of this House, worked hard during the peace process and have continued to work hard, as this is a process which is by no means complete. And I'm the first to pay tribute to the work which the Right Honourable Gentleman did. I would simply say that there is a distinction, and I think it's an important one, between releasing prisoners under an exercise of the royal prerogative of mercy as part of a peace settlement and any suggestion of an amnesty. These two things are rather different. And as he knows, there was no such amnesty. And indeed, any suggestion that we might move towards an amnesty was firmly rejected by widespread views expressed in Parliament and by the government. And the government accepted it. So for those reasons, we have a system where he then says that he did explain to the House, and he certainly did, that we'll look at other methods. I think it's best for him to explain as to how what publicity or otherwise this may have attracted. But he's quite right that the system of giving an assurance to an individual that they are not wanted, because they are indeed not wanted and there is no current basis for wanting them, is not an unlawful process to engage in. Finally, he raised the question of the oversight of the law officers. He's quite right that the Office of the Attorney General operated during this process in order to act as the coordinating point, because the Public Prosecution Service of Northern Ireland could not and would not communicate directly with the Northern Ireland office, and therefore collated the information that was supplied. But it is, I think, probably right to say, in fairness to my predecessors, that they would have had no independent means of verification of whether somebody was wanted or not, and reliance for that was placed on the PSNI and its links with other police forces in the other jurisdictions of this country.
Dr. Julia.